97.5 KDEE. All this music sounds so great. It gets your blood pumping. It works for you. The best radio station on the planet, your community radio station, 97.5. Lee Perkins, Dr. Arterberry, and Doctor, we've got another guest back in our studio. It's not the first time him being in here, and I think it's important that we have him back. First of all, just so he can come in and snap his fingers, listen to the Jackson 5. Pull this microphone around. Richard Lewis Brown is in our studio. Thank you so much for coming back. How you doing?
No, thank you. I deeply appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be back.
I saw your head bouncing to that Jackson 5. What you know about the Jackson 5? Huh?
Well, don't let the voice fool you, because we know that at 52 years of age, 5 and 2 is 7. And I know you and I and Mr. Thaxter's on the same page.
Yeah.
Because when I ran on that campaign 7437, when I said we're on the same page, and that means that number is 21. And when I see 97.5, what does that add up to? 21.
There you go.
Talk to me now. Talk to me. I'm ready.
We know it's so important to be able to have this conversation with you because the media report the facts as they see the facts. So I know ABC, NBC, all of our local television stations, including the Sacramento Bee, they did a story here about a week ago where you were actually locked out. Now, first, let's just say who you are, because we know you walk in. He's the president of Local 1000, the SEIU right here in Sacramento, and that covers about 96,000 state workers. And everything that you do is going to affect the state workers in one form or another. Now, Yvonne Walker, who was your predecessor, she had been for numbers of years as president of the SEIU 1000. And with that being said, there was an election, and you actually won the election. Am I correct?
That is correct. The former president, Yvonne Walker, was in office for 13 straight years.
13 straight years.
She has won the number 4.
Yeah.
4 consecutive terms. They said she was unbeatable.
How long is the term?
The term is 3 years, but she had one term that was actually a 4-year term.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So now you've been somewhat a controversial leader as it's written in these reports here. You were elected to a 3-year term last May, and there's some allegations. It looks like there was a coup. And when we talk about coup, that's something that some countries are overturned by a coup. What happened in your situation, and where are we?
So I'll tell you as quickly as possible. I won the election through the grace of God through Jesus Christ. A dream was revealed to me that I would be the president. That's that.
Yeah.
Now, I give all the glory to God through Jesus Christ for everything I do. So everything I say right now, I put my hands on the Bible, and I speak to Jenny with sincerity.
Yeah.
Took office on June 30th. From May 24th, when they announced that I won, there was a conspiracy to remove me as quickly as possible.
That quick?
Oh, yes, because...
So as soon as you were in, you knew the odds were stacked against you.
Well, let's go back to that statement you said about controversy.
Yeah.
Controversial. You show me a black man in this country that's not fighting for justice, that's not considered controversial.
Right.
And so when you mention the fact about the defining moment and the voting rights, my election is clearly about voting. But what makes me so controversial? If I was just fighting for the black community, brother, that would be easy. I could accept all the things that come my way fighting for us.
Okay.
Here's the problem. I'm in the great state of California, the #1 state in the nation, in my personal opinion. All up to Missouri.
I agree with you.
Okay, but I'm from Missouri, but I'm giving respect.
Okay.
Now, because I'm fighting for not just black people, not just white people, I'm fighting for everybody represented by our union.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Well, you say you're from Missouri, that's the show me state. So you got to show me.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
what is it what's the controversy, and what is it that you're fighting for?
The controversy is Local 1000 has been a social justice organization since its inception.
Yeah.
Now you have a new leader, a real labor leader, for the first time in Local 1000 history. We're not just giving money to politics. We're not just giving money to politicians. That is a problem.
Okay, so I'm gonna break it down like this.
Sure.
I can be as proper as I want to be, but I'm just gonna come like this. What's their problem? Why?
Let me tell you something. I don't back up. I don't script. I don't edit. And unfortunately, I can be very direct. they've never had no one like them.
We as a people, we can do that. That's something that we do, and we can't always do that. I know even in Hollywood, you got to dance a soft shoe. You got to come a little. You got to come a little slower. You got to come a little easier.
That's right.
Just your demeanor is very aggressive, and for many people, that's difficult to accept. But let's get to the real nuts and bolts of this. Why are we having this conversation where you got locked out of your office? Why?
Because they never wanted me there to begin with.
There you go.
But I want to go back to this, because a lot of times people say, Richard, don't make this a racial issue. Let me tell you something. From the time I was born, it will always be a racial issue on how my ancestors came to this country. Now, forgive me, because I know different types of black folks feel differently about slavery.
Right.
The fact is, we're always being judged by the European yardstick. We sing differently. We talk differently. We walk differently. We play sports with a certain amount of passion that sometimes is considered going over the line. So we're always judged differently because we're from Africa. So the way we talk and the way we express ourselves, we're not mad. We're just passionate.
And you think, and I agree with you wholeheartedly.
All right.
I mean, there are times when I can talk to an ex-girlfriend and I'm like, why are you shouting? And she's like, I'm not shouting. This is just how and over the years, it's like, okay, yeah, there's just sometimes we are passionate about what we feel and what we think. That being said, they and I want our listening audience to understand, we're speaking with Richard Lewis Brown, the president of the SEIU 1000, who came to his office one day and it was literally locked out. Your key didn't work. You could not get in the office to do your job. And the vice presidents, they did actions to so-called oust you from that position, because in whatever the rules, the bylaws, it takes what, 2 presidents or 2 vice presidents?
No, all three vice presidents. They can say under their opinion. Listen to this. This is the English language. In their opinion. Well, last time I checked, we all had opinions. That they said I was a detriment to the Union. Last time I checked, you show me a black man in this country that's fighting for justice, that's not accepting the status quo, and tell me he's not a threat to society. They said that about Dr. King. Yeah. They said it about Malcolm X.
They say that all day about Reverend Al Sharpton. He hears it all the time. Where do you go from here?
Continue to put my faith in God through Jesus Christ. A substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. They did this on February 27th. The story doesn't tell you I had already suspended them on February 25th. See, but you know what? The media has to sell papers.
Right.
You portray a black man as being scary, intimidating, out of control, controversial. Did they tell you I was college educated? Arizona State University, 4-year degree, bachelor's in finance? Did they tell you that part? Did they tell you I served the country honorably? U.S. Air Force. Did they tell you that? Oh, they forgot? No problem. Did they tell you that when this governor tried to make everyone, all state employees represented by Local 1000, get vaccinated, Richard Lewis Brown said no? Did they tell you that part in the paper? Oh, they forgot? Don't even worry, I understand. Did they tell you how we're fighting for the essential worker premium pay for everyone represented by Local 1000, whether they went to work or whether they work from home, to ensure that the 4th largest economy on earth stayed intact? Did they tell you that part in the paper?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
This is why I wanted you to be able to share your voice at this radio station, the voice of the community, so those can have a better understanding than what they have read or what they have seen on television. I wanted you to be able to give your statements so everyone would have a true understanding of your thoughts, your feelings, and your next step in moving forward.
Listen, people have asked me, they said, can you forgive the 3 vice presidents for the conspiracy and the coup about trying to suspend you illegally?
Yeah.
Could I forgive them?
Right.
I say this, when someone comes to you with sincerity and love in their heart, and you can feel it, not see it, but you can feel it in your heart, if I truly believe in God and Jesus Christ, I would have to forgive them. But the bigger question is, can they forgive themselves for trying to remove the voice of the voters? See, we as black people, if they say, hey, we're having a voting, an election next year, and we go show up in line, well, that line is going to be shut down early. But you go into the white communities, their voting lines, they stay open. But we already know what we're up against. But in this case, they're trying to hurt the voice of the voters of not just black people, because we're accustomed to being hurt, but they're trying to hurt the voice of non-black people. And I think that is probably why I get so passionate.
Thank you.
You know, and listen, and I'll say this real quick.
Yeah.
I always tease President Obama and his lovely wife, Michelle. I always call them the perfect brown-skinned black people. Kamala Harris, same way. And they walk so perfectly, with so much dignity, from the talented 10th they come from. Even though they may not have been born in the talented 10th, they're part of the talented 10th for black folks who know what I'm saying. Yes, those are our superstar black people. But for all the rest of us, they see Richard Lewis Brown. They see somebody that's real, that's tangible. They see that rapper selling those cassettes out of the back of a Cadillac back in the day.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
As you prepare to continue moving forward, are you ready?
I stay ready.
Okay. Now I want you to give a phone number to our listeners who choose to support you and choose to stand with you so they can reach out to you and let you know how they feel.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. 408-207-2339. They can cash app me because Local 1000 has taken the attorneys from me. The three VPs took away my attorneys when I was fighting to save the union. And that is unfortunate. But you know what? And I say this with sincerity. When people really want to come together and they really want to fight for justice, and this is about justice, first they have to vote. And when people vote, you have to respect their vote. And you can't criticize other people when things don't go your way. Thank you, sir.
That's called the democratic way.
Yes, sir.
We all have a voice. We all have a voice. It's 97.5 KDEE.
I have a question. Reading the article,
Okay.
these three individuals, vice presidents, they also claim or made a claim that you did not hold board meetings.
Right.
Is that true or false?
That's false. And what the paper doesn't tell you is I was protecting the members' votes. So we would have board meetings, but I knew what they were trying to do was, quote, carefully castrate me through a local lynching. And you said, well, those are really, really strong words. Let me say this to you. I wouldn't say them like that if it was not true. And so when they said those racist, homophobic things about me, when I'd have the board meetings, I would have to, quote, use strategy. But when black men use strategy in America, they say that we're rebellious and we won't act right and we have to know our place. But when white men show strategy, well, they're the titans of the industry. They're patriotic Americans.
Okay, but as it relates to this question,
Yes.
you did have board meetings.
Yes, I did.
Do you have minutes that support the board meetings?
They do have minutes. They took notes.
No, I said you do have them.
I don't have them personally, but it's all up on Facebook because I'm the first Local 1000 president to put it on Facebook. So you can go to my Facebook page, RL Brown, and you can see the board meetings we've had.
So you had Facebook Live? Is that what it was?
I'm the first Local 1000 president that when we had board meetings, I would put it all up on Facebook, on my Facebook page, as well as the SIU 1000 Facebook page. That has never happened before because I am transparent. Thank you, sir.
It's 97.5. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you so much.
And continued blessings to you. Continue your work. And I know there's an elected official position somewhere that's going to happen. He's Missouri because he got that show me attitude, but he's doing it for the state of California and the workers of California, and we thank you. Continue doing your work, but as I said, I don't know what elected official position there is. Run for Attorney General. That's what I say. It's 97.5 KDEE.